Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 11th of January 2022. Just stuck here in a bit of a traffic jam at the moment, so I thought I'd make a quick video. And I've just come away from a job where I was crawling around a loft full of mouse droppings. The fun stuff I get to do in my working life. Fantastic. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is I've noticed that the headlines in the mainstream media are all about this 150k figure. Apparently 150k fatalities as far as the lurgy is concerned. Now, I'm not going to go into, not in this video anyway, about how accurate that figure is. And if you're anything like me, you probably think that is exaggerated to quite some degree, to say the least. But let's assume it's true that figure is accurate. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Got ambulances and all sorts going on down here. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so even if you take that figure as being true, it represents 150k represents somewhere around not 2% but 0.2% of the British population. And I just saw a headline that the CDC, which is American, but they were saying that same kind of figure, that it's about 0.2% of the US population who have succumbed supposedly to the lurgy. And another thing I saw from the CDC was apparently about 3/4 of the fatalities had an average of 4 comorbidities. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure it means a comorbidity is some condition that you have that you could easily die from. So that means a lot of these lurgy deaths, they've also had 4 other conditions. So let's say they might have been diabetes, heart problem, maybe a bit of dementia, and maybe a bit of cancer somewhere. So the fact that they were put down as lurgy deaths, well, could have just as easily been one of the other 4 comorbidities. But that aside, let's stick to this 0.2% of the population. Now, can you imagine in, don't know when it will be, 20 years time, 50 years time, 100 years time, whenever the last effects of this nonsense have finally subsided, just what the people will be thinking of us. And can you imagine, let's say it's 100 years time, by the time all the effects are finally sorted out, all the debts cleared, all the kind of psychological problems that people have suffered, the last people, the little kiddies now have passed away, and it's become a forgotten memory, or nearly forgotten memory. And can you just imagine going forward in time 100 years and trying to explain to someone then the whole thing? Because this is probably how the conversation will be going, so a person from 100 years time will be like, this lurgy thing that you guys put up with sort of 2020 to 2022 or whatever, it sounds like quite a bad thing. How many what kind of percentage of the population passed away then? And was it sort of 50%, sort of 60%, 10%? And you'll be like, no, it's 0.2%. Oh, 2%. That doesn't sound like much. No, 0.2%. 0.2% they'll be going. So, hang on a minute. So you guys ruined the economy for generations to come. We've only just finished paying off all the debts accrued only a few years ago. There was massive amounts of psychological harm done that kind of lasted for generations, and there was just so much other collateral damage caused by it. And you're telling me that was all for 0.2% of the population? And you'll be like, yeah, afraid so. Sorry about that. And they'll go, well, how many people out of that 0.2% would have probably passed away anyway? Not many? Well, actually, most of them, the majority of them had comorbidities, so they probably would have passed away around the same kind of time anyway, or only a year or so later. Oh, right, okay, they'll be saying. And yes, I'm parked up here now. It's probably a bit better, and I've just noticed I've got some lovely cobwebs here from the loft I was talking to you about. But anyway, we'll get back to our futuristic conversation. So you're trying to explain to them that a lot of the people would perhaps have passed away round the same kind of time anyway with the other comorbidities, but then they'll also ask you, so how do you know, because I understand the kind of things they were using to detect the lurgy weren't the best, so how do you know that this 0.2% of the population, that they were all lurgy deaths and not just your normal Foxtrot Lima uniform or your normal cold or anything like that? And then you'll be like, good question. I don't think we really did know 100%. They'll also be saying, yeah, I also understand that the thing that rhymes with pests that starts with T weren't accurate. In fact, they were pretty inaccurate, 90% inaccurate. So, and then when you kind of couple that together with the fact that these people, so-called lurgy deaths, could have quite easily have passed away from other causes, the other comorbidities they were suffering from, it might be that even that 0.2% was a little bit overestimated. It could be 0.02%. And you'll be saying, yeah, you're right, hands up, I've got to put hands up to that one. And then they'll be saying, you guys didn't really acquit yourselves with a great deal of honour there, did you? I mean, it's not like you were facing Nazis invading your shores, or communists dropping hydrogen bombs on you, or Napoleonic French soldiers invading your country, or whatever, or the fact that you were facing a Saxon, Roman or Norman invasion. Well, you guys, you had this thing that I think you blew up out of all proportion, and because of that you caused all of this damage. You caused all these industries to go bust or to be vastly depressed. You caused probably a depression, or at least severe recession for many, many years, or for something that at best caused fatalities of 0.2% of the population, and more likely 0.02% of the population when all said and done. So that future person isn't going to be looking upon us very favourably, are they? And I just wonder, the fact that the mainstream media are talking about this 150k thing at the moment, I wonder if that's a sign that they're acknowledging they've finally got to put this thing to bed, because 150k, they can then turn around and say, well, look, 150k people have passed away from this thing, supposedly. And that means, yes, we did the right thing with the lockdowns. Yes, we did the right thing with the big V mandates and the censorship and the loss of freedoms, because 150k people passed away. And that, I think, is how they're going to try and absolve themselves in the future, not only to us, the population now, but also to future generations. And do you know what? I don't think it's going to wash. It will not wash for 1 second. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.